Hey everyone, Marsh from Consequence here. I'm gonna go over Nymue. Um, so this is the heroic video. There was mythic testing, but there's no need. It's all about like a lot of intermission changes and melee DPS change. But we're just gonna go over heroic. So the general idea of this fight is there's gonna be these matrices. And each phase has a different layout of these matrices. Um, However, when you pass one, it gives you a debuff. I think it's like a few seconds, and you can let it wear off before you go through another matrix if you want to reduce raid damage because it does stack. Now, if you have the green on the ground here and you pass through, you will get no damage. You do not get the debuff. So we'll start the fight here. Lusty on pull is really good because the faster you kill the boss, less intermissions you get. And you can see here we kind of like an even spread of melee, or sorry, of range spread out in the back. The core thing of this fight are these circles. These circles give you this debuff here. You can see there's only have one out right now. Now we have four, now we have three. So you'll see up here that the more of these that are out, the more damage and ticking damage you're taking. So you're taking 6 now. And they cap, I think, at 20, but you want to take as many out of the fight as possible. So the second mechanic here are these big circles. You can't stack them on another player if you want, but we're dropping them here because you can see that they leave behind this like area of denial zone. If you go into the area of denial zone, you'll actually get knocked back. So we want them out of the fight, and like if we drop it here, that's really troll because you're limiting the amount of space people actually use in the counter. So we have them over here. The third mechanic of this fight are these lines. They shoot up from the boss. You can see them here, and you can see them here. Getting hit by these lines stuns you, and on Mythic, it will just straight up kill you. I think on Heroic, you can just tank it, and it's fine. So he goes backwards, which is fine. There's actually a Mythic mechanic that goes back here, but this is completely and utterly fine because it's out of the way of everyone else. So you can see here, now he's got the invincible green thing under him. He actually took a stack there. That's probably a bug. But so he dropped it back there. Now he's coming in because when you drop this, you'll spew the green stuff, so you're able to cross the matrices back. But yeah, it's really a big race against dodging lines and getting soaks. Right now we have 5 stacks. Also to note, the more people in, the faster it goes away. And I think they only last 1 minute. So if you don't soak it, it will eventually go away. But the more you can take out, the better. So you can see the lines coming out. He died to a tank thing, I think. But the lines are coming out. He got stunned, but he actually died through that. So again, like not getting hit by those lines is like a huge priority. And then the intermission here. So what happens is when the boss hits 100 energy, she goes into intermission. She does like a damage thing 16 yards from her and does like 600k or something. But whoever gets hit gets this green line or green blossoms by them. Usually the tank gets hit and then they make a path. Just go through. You only get 1 stack. He gets 1 stack if he goes this way. So right now in the intermission, you split up the raid into 2 even groups. A tank and even healers and DPS on each side. And what you're seeing here is regardless, we're still trying to take out these circles, which are spawning in this intermission. We did this on Heroic. It's a little different on Mythic because there's more damage, but we have players like in each quadrant. So you see quadrant, quadrant, quadrant. There's someone missing here, but this guy, there's no line, so it's very easy for them to shift. And we just want to have people spread out so we can take out as many as possible, reducing the raid damage. This ad cannot leave this zone and that like kind of one-shots the raid. So we kill the ad, we come back, and the boss is going to start doing an AoE channel. It really doesn't like do any damage. I feel like this is something they could just straight up buff by like 400%. But anyway, he resets the encounter, and as you can see here, they're trying to come back and take these out. I don't think that one was like necessarily needed as the boss clears them, but it was a good idea. And now it repeats, so you'll have a different matrix layout here, but you can see players are evenly spread, two, there's two over here, and there's a few over here, you can also just move through and handle it. So we're taking out as many of these pools as possible, and he gets this. And notice how this is a pretty long debuff, so he's almost out here. He's just going to go back. It's completely fine and heroic to do that, so he goes back. No one's ever going to go back there. Some people go to the sides, and he comes in using the green circle below him, the green blossoms below him, not taking any damage. Stun lines come out, he navigates through them like that, and it's fine. And that's really the whole fight. You kind of like rotate between these mechanics and just like learning how to handle these. So he's going to go back again for sure. Yep, so he's going back, he's going to disengage, and he's going to drop near the old one. So, and he should dodge this. Yep, there he goes. Dodge, dodge. Same with this guy. So it's really about like minor movements in your character. One thing to note is when you cross this matrix, you're going to get a debuff. You can let that debuff fall off. So he has one here. He lets it fall off. If he wanted to cross again, he could cross again. So letting it fall off is really important. It's not that long. You don't want to run through like 4 and get a 4 stack. That's insane. So anyway, we'll soak these up, kill these ads, and then the boss will be taken out here. But that's really the encounter. I'm going to try to skip ahead. So this is the next intermission. And we've kind of like figured out the fight at this point where we just understand like reduce the raid damage as much as possible. There's almost no healing in the fight if you do. But if you have like 15 stacks rolling constantly, yeah, the healing is going to be intense. Other than that, that's really about it for this fight. Very straightforward on heroic. No need to talk about mythic. Just get this guy down ASAP. Pure single target fight. And really just hammer home with your ranged DPS. If you're not soaking, you're basically throwing. You take your quadrant. If you see anything in your quadrant, go instantly. Even if you 3-stack it, it's gone immediately. You're reducing the raid damage for everyone else. Melee don't really do anything on heroic. They have a mythic mechanic. But that's about it. Easy kill. And we'll come back with more bosses. I think we have 3 to go. So those 3 will be coming out ASAP. I'm out. Peace.